3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? This is the Worship Leader Podcast. I'm Terry.
And this is Josh.
Yes, this is Terry and Josh. We got stuck the landing. We got an exciting episode. But as always, first we're gonna do a little catching up.
It's been like almost 10 episodes and we're finally getting
Finally getting it. I know. I know.
It.
Finally, we're getting in a routine months later.
Really?
Yeah. So I know. I guess since the last time we shot, things have been just. It's been pretty run of the mill as far as life goes. It's been kind of work, raising kids. Nothing big, nothing special. But I've had some thoughts, just random thoughts. You know how I get with my random thoughts.
Yeah.
I get a thought. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about that on the podcast. You know how they say, well, this is something I think as a whole humanity, we need to take this saying and we need to cancel it. We need to retire this statement. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Kill the statement.
Kill
the statement.
Kill it.
Kill the statement.
You think about like how many like just mass murderers and stuff like words have created. Like that is so
entire
so
wars
false.
have been started off with somebody saying something they should not have said.
So it's crazy. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, that is so. I guess it was what's his name? The Truth. He's like a gospel rapper, and one of his lines in one of the songs is they say sticks and stones will break your bones, and then he said something else. He didn't say words will ever hurt you, but that got me thinking about it, and I was like, I was like, those words that is like so false. I don't know why people really go by that like
faithfully.
Yeah, like sticks and stones break my bones,
faithfully.
but these words and them words hurt. Like I was thinking, let me get my phone out, maybe turn it on silent because I saw you with the phone. Oh, it's still on. It's still on silent from church. So, where was I?
The sticks and stones.
Oh yeah, sticks and stones. I had a little thought trailing off of it. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I was thinking of, like literally sticks and stones break. Like I've had 3 knee surgeries, and it affected my life 6 months at a time. After those 6 months, my life was completely back to normal. But there's words that people have said to me when I was in like the 4th, 5th grade that I'm still like battling with this day.
Laying up at night. Why did they tell me that?
Why did they tell me? Now, I think I may have told this story before, but I don't know. But yeah, like it was the 4th grade. I remember like I used to hate going to school because it was these 2 girls. I'm not gonna say y'all names. It's these 2 girls because I remember. You know who you are. in the 4th grade. No, it was the 5th grade. What was it? The 4th, 5th. It was the 5th grade. Like they would tease me every day. They would tease me.
That's a lot of energy.
It's a lot of energy.
That's a lot of energy.
And going back to it, I mean, I realize now in hindsight, like why they did it. I mean, it's just they were miserable. Like they were just the home life and all that stuff. It was
that's a lot of energy. The bullying is a lot of energy.
It is. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy.
To tease somebody every day. Sometimes, how do you muster up the energy to do that?
Yeah, it's crazy. And like I'm pretty sure I still like. It's not ones that I know I have, but there's no way I don't have insecurities because that was a whole year. Like, there's no way I can not have insecurities.
And words could like sink into.
Oh yeah,
they get in deep.
They get in real deep. And then the next year, I had a cousin that was friends with them, and it ended this quick. She came in class one day and they were teasing me, and she was like, "Nope, we're not calling him that anymore." She was like, "We're calling him that," and so. It just switched to another person, like the same. He's the new person, and it was over just like that. After 5 seconds. After
a whole year.
After a year. God blocked it. Nah. but yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but it's crazy. I don't know that whole sticks and stones thing. And another thought I had, and I'm rambling, y'all. Podcast, y'all know me by now. Y'all know I'm rambling. I talk. I like to ramble. So I was thinking. I was listening while I was working. I was listening to some music. I always listen to music and I listen to podcasts. And I was thinking, this is kind of along the lines of the stuff we do for openers anyway. But if you could have 3 songs to listen to for the rest of your life,
oh my gosh,
just 3.
That's miserable.
Do you know what they would be?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to be honest. Okay, so you know how most people have like favorite songs and they're just like, every time I hear this song, it's just like, I cannot accurately answer the whole like, what's your favorite song? Because like literally every so often it changes.
Yeah,
and I don't realize that it changes.
I'm exactly the same way.
And so that's really hard because if I listen to one song for too many times, I'm genuinely sick of it. And when I hear it, I'm just like.
And the thing is, you have to exactly, and you have to watch when you listen to it, because if you listen to it like there was, this was, I don't know, this was when I was a kid. Like my grandpa, he died of cancer, and like I said, you know, my family, we're not a whole, like, my immediate family, we're not outward on a lot of things. But, you know, me and my dad got in the car. He knew I needed something, so we got in the car and we just went for a drive. You know, wasn't a whole lot of, you know.
We just going to drive.
We're going to drive. And he knew I needed it. And and a song came on. It was Brian McKnight's song. You know that, Do I Ever Cross Your Mind?
Oh, Brian.
Anytime I miss you. That song. And ever since that moment, that memory is seared and stamped to that song. So now every time I hear that song, I think about my grandpa.
Wow.
And my grandpa dying and that ride that we took and those feelings, like, they start to come back. So you think about that, like, if you have 3 songs that you listen to, you have to really be careful when you listen to those songs, because if it gets attached to a feeling, or you feeling the way you listen to it, then it's ruined. For me, it would
like
be anyway.
Every time I listen to this.
I don't know. Like you said, I don't have favorites. I don't have favorites like foods or like one favorite. I can't just say one favorite.
It's got to be like 5 different things.
I know one song I don't know if I can narrow it down to 3, but I know one song I would have would be Todd Gilberth. That Lord, you are good.
Oh,
you've been so good.
Yeah.
I do that because it's
such a good song.
It's got a lot of things I need in a song. Like it's got those chords, those gospel. I love those gospel.
Honestly, yeah.
It's got
like the whole like musical part. Like just take even if you just take away the singing, just like listening to the instrumental of it, it's just like
and then it's got key changes, so that's good. It's got the vocals. It's got the upfront. I like the upfront vocals, like background vocals. It's got that. It's got some drive. You can worship to it. You can put it on that bridge. You've been better than good to me, and you can kind of, it's kind of, the tempo's not up, but it's like a drive,
it's like
upbeat
pushing
feel.
kind of.
So I know that would be one of them. I don't know. Then I would need something just to. I don't know. I could not give you 3 songs. I could give you that one. But I don't know the other 2. I need something for when I'm like, I just want to like work out or something. I need an upbeat song that's just to get me in that zone. When I need to get in that zone, I need that, which I don't know what it would be. And I'd also need like an ambient type song, just for like calming you down. Maybe like Oceans or something.
Yeah,
because it's super long. It's like, I don't know if that would be it, but something along the line of Oceans. Lord, You're Good would be one. Something along the line of Oceans, and then something that I could just like driving and whatever. I'll bring back one of those songs from the other week. Like just getting the zone when I need to. But I don't know. I don't know what 3 would be, but
That's a hard one.
Yeah, that is.
Because it's just, I don't know, because some people, they can literally listen to the same songs like all the time and it doesn't bother them. Like that's just, I mean, it's whatever. And then other people, it's like you hear the same song 2 days in a row and it's just like, get rid of it.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm like that too. If I have a ringtone on too long, when I start to hear it, it just starts to like, you know, no,
it's gotta go.
And that's why a lot of radio stations get a lot of flack, especially like Christian radio stations, because they have a rotation.
Kill good songs.
I don't know if it's like, I don't know the business, so I don't know if it's like a thing where you get in good with the radio business and they just play your songs, or if record labels are like, okay, we'll give you X amount of whatever to keep our artist in rotation or whatever, but
whatever it is, they need to change the system, because there have been some actual good songs that have been murdered.
Yes.
Genuine, like terribly. Oh my gosh.
And question, do you even listen to the radio with like streaming and Spotify and stuff? How often do you listen to the radio?
Not on purpose. I'm gonna be honest. Ever since I found out about like you could, honestly, this was even before like people really started streaming. When I found out that you could make your own CDs, I started doing that almost. Yeah, it was pretty
burning
quick.
CDs.
Cannot stand because it's like, okay, like my wife is completely different. She still listens to Pandora because she just likes the whole like, you know, you don't know what's gonna come next. She likes the variety, that sort of thing. Me, I like certain kinds of songs. Yeah, and so like when I get in the car and I'm just like, I want to listen to some music, I want to go to, you know, my set of songs because like that's what I want to listen to. If I get on the radio, you genuinely don't know what you're getting into, and the entire time you're in the car, you could possibly be listening to all the songs that you genuinely cannot stand.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole time you're in the car.
And I'm like that with my, like, I have a very like, I guess zeroed in narrow playlist, and the time I do listen to the radio, like, you know how you have an artist or a song and then they just play similar songs, I fine tune that a lot. So if there's a song I don't like, don't play it again.
Exit out.
So those are real fine tuned. But yeah, I don't know if I could do that. And also on another note, shout out to this cup. I had a couple of people call me out on it. I had a couple of people call me out on this cup. Y'all. This is my son's sippy cup. But
oh my gosh.
Here's the great thing about it. Like, I wish there was a little more water. You could hold a little more liquid in it. But the thing that I love about it, well, it's got this little lock on it. If y'all want to sponsor me, ELLO, yeah, free commercial here. But
there you go.
It's got a lock on it, so it's a push button. So if my like, it's good for working out. Like this doubles as a workout room. This TV will put something on, me and my wife, and cleaning out all of the equipment in here.
Home gym.
And when I'm working out, we usually do workouts that like, it's called like continuous moving workout. So you'll do something and then you'll get a cool down. But during that cool down, you're like marching in place or you're doing side steps or something like that. So during that, I grab this, I just pop this, boom. Oh. And then there's a straw, so I don't have to worry about getting it on me and all that. I just drink out of it, clamp it back, and it's done. And then there's a lock on it for if you don't want it to pop open, you can do that. So it is an awesome cup. This is literally I stole it from my son, from my toddler, and it's mine now. Like, this is literally my cup. They have their cups.
He don't have my sippy cup. He genuinely doesn't miss it. I don't even think he realized that he took it, to be honest.
Yeah, we bought a bunch of them for him, and so I was like, which one of these looks the least like toddler-y?
You could probably get away with it, to be honest.
I've taken it to work with me before.
No one would have noticed either.
Nope. No one noticed except for
oh yeah, I saw that. Like, it was like one person that caught
it. Spencer called me out. He called me out, and he was like, he texted me. He was like, he sent me a screenshot of me sipping it like this. I was like, I know. I was like, yeah, it's a sippy cup. It is.
Spencer was probably watching.
And then Trey called me out on it. Trey called me out on it too in the comment section. But that's cool. That's cool. We like that. But yeah, this is my new cup. So now I gotta bring it back, and this has to be the cup.
It works.
So from now on, this will be the cup.
It works.
Yeah. So I don't know about that whole song deal. Like I can't name the 3, but
It's hard.
It is.
If I don't know, maybe if it was like 10 songs, I could like finesse it.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 songs I could do. 3 songs is really tough.
Because it's just like I don't even know what to pick. Because it's just like let's say like I'm on like a long drive or something like that. I just want to listen to some music. After that first hour, I'm just like, all right, we did these songs already. I gotta get out of this now.
Yeah, you want them to stay fresh too,
basically.
Yeah, and drop a comment of what are your 3 songs. I could think of one, but if you know what 3 songs you would have, we would love to see and hear what they would be. 3 songs for the rest of your life. Just drop them in the comments.
For the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
It's a lifetime commitment.
Yeah, and if you live to be like 98 or something, that's music
for the rest
will change.
Of your life.
Music. Think about how different music will be in another rabbit trail. Like
honestly,
40 years from now, what do you think music like? It keeps getting more and more like electronic and less. I guess it's always been musical, but it seems like it's getting less and less musical. Like
yeah, well, okay, yes, but then there was like this small, like I don't know, spurt of like getting back to like the whole like acoustic style type thing, and I really noticed it whenever Maverick City started doing it. Like I feel like they are the ones, or at least one of the main ones that made doing like acoustic sets or acoustic-ish sets.
Yeah, well, you have
like
the upright acoustic piano and that's true. Yeah, and it's I don't know. I don't know what it would be like, because if you think about it now, it's like I guess like Israel. Well, he came out with an album recently, but he took a break for a while. But he would have like dubstep, like like that kind of stuff in his music, and it's cool. I think I like it, and I think there's definitely a place for it. I wonder where we'll be in 40 years when we're looking back and we're saying like, oh, you remember Maverick City, and that's the old Jireh, you are enough.
That's gonna be so weird.
And to the young people, it sounds like I have no home but thee. Na, 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 na. And we'll be singing, how great is our God? And I was like, man, that is old.
You're like, how old are you?
How old are Maverick City?
Honestly, like, okay, so it was weird because like I had thought about that, where it's like, I don't know, like things that were just so like, oh, I love this song, and then like now, like it's gonna be old, kind of like Send the Rain.
Yeah.
Remember, like that used to be like the song for like a lot of people. It'd be like, Send the Rain. And now, like, if you play it, it's just like, oh, we haven't done this one in a while.
Wow.
We had to pull it out the vault. But it's like,
yeah. And that's one of those songs that it's gonna sound old because it's not a very timeless sound. Yeah. It's just in this 2 decades or whatever we're doing like that type of music. Send the rain. So that's probably gonna sound honestly, really old.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a couple of them. I feel like they would be timeless if you just kind of switched around like the music style.
Yeah.
Like what song?
I'm gonna jump in.
Oh,
while you think.
Yeah.
One that will be timeless. Charity Gale. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes,
for the blood.
yes. Oh my gosh,
that is gonna be shout out. If you haven't heard it,
y'all
go check it out. Download it.
Put it on the
all
loop.
of the stuff. Put it on your playlist.
That one. Okay, that one could probably be one of my ones. To be honest. That one. Don't listen to it while you're driving if it's your first time, because you ain't ready.
Let's just take a second to talk about how good that album is. Like the endless praise that just that just came out. Like it is
love that
so good.
song.
And I'm excited. I'm excited for the entire. Wait, let me see.
Oh, okay. So for those of you who don't know, Charity Gale basically did like a live recording of an album. Terry was actually on the front line thing for it, so he actually knows like what all the songs are, and he's like trying not to spill the beans on like any of it. But she's been like slowly, like piece by piece, putting one thing out, putting another thing out, putting another thing out. They're all super duper good. Go listen to it. They're on YouTube. Pretty sure like Apple Music, Spotify, all that stuff. Did she put out Endless Praise on the other one? Because I know it's on YouTube, but
it is. No, it's not on Spotify or anything yet. It's out on YouTube, but it's not.
That's another.
Oh man, and there's it's gonna be good. I'm not gonna talk too much because she's released a couple of them, and they are really good. She is
on tour though.
Yeah, she is.
Y'all want to go see her? Yes.
I'll have to look at this. I wonder if this is hers. Look, that's under her. I wonder if it was an error, if she's
I think she's singing on it with him.
I'm gonna have to listen. I haven't heard this. I'm gonna have to listen.
I think he like just came out with that not too long ago.
Cool. And one thing we'll have to do here, which now I think all the time, as long as we do the fair use, I was worried about playing music on here, but as long as you're commenting, criticizing, and it could be a good critique. It doesn't have to be a bad critique. Education, whatever those things is, fair use. So maybe let's try doing an episode where I guess we do some music and give commentary on it, and you know, hopefully YouTube won't come after us too much for playing all the music. Yeah, please don't. It's fair use, you know.
It's okay, y'all.
So yeah, that is great album. Put that on your follow to notification or whatever whenever it drops. It is going to be a very outstanding album. Yeah, that could be you know what? I would probably replace my Oceans one with that one.
And that would be a good one because it has like so many different elements to it.
Yeah, and it's also got the drive. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that I could put that on, but I wouldn't want it to. I don't think that one would get. That would be one of the ones I listen to sparingly. I listen to the other ones and then. That would be the one.
Pull that one out. Yeah, there it is.
Old Faithful.
Yeah.
There it is.
Kiss me every time.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So one of the things we're gonna do is, we want to kind of talk about a little bit, like parts, I guess, like parts teaching, and because there's some places that I've been in singing and in my travels, not a ton of travels, but in the traveling that I've done, and in worship leading, I guess I'll just say it like it's needed.
Yeah.
Like learning how to teach, and that's something, you know, I'm aware of, and I know how to pick up parts and I know how to do parts, but it's different in knowing parts and actually teaching them. That's something I don't do often is teach parts. I don't do it at all, is teach parts. So it's different picking up a part and singing it and being good at noticing parts and actually taking that knowledge and teaching people. So we want to talk about that a little bit. We're gonna let Josh take the wheel on this because I'm
so nervous.
You've done this. You've done this with when J. Crew and Rush were more separate than they are now. You've done the whole we're gonna get here at this time and teach the parts and doing the extra practice on another day that's not at church and all of that. So this is something that Josh has done in his life, and that he will continue to do. That's one of your passions too, right? Just teaching people music and getting sets together and all of that.
I actually really love doing that, like a lot. I don't know, it's weird. I'm not gonna get in that rabbit hole, but
so I guess what we'll do is like how do you okay. Let's start with, and this could be another podcast, but we'll hit it real quick. Song selection. How do you? I guess we'll say Wednesday night of this week is over. Next Wednesday starts. So, do you have songs already picked, or do you wait until one service is over and then go about the process? Or is it different each time?
Okay, so I'm gonna put disclosure that I like basically all the information from here, basically for like this whole entire section, I guess you could say. This is what works for me. I know people are like different; they have different personality types and all this other stuff. So what works for me may be a train wreck for somebody else.
Yeah.
But this is what I noticed worked consistently for me, and made us not like hectic and chaotic.
And maybe we can, when you're talking about what you've done, maybe we can talk about some other styles that we've seen.
Honestly,
to kind of give, I guess to kind of give a few options to people that may be wondering.
Whenever I was like doing songs and stuff like that, what I did was, let's say, like I would basically, Wednesday night was just Wednesday night, and then Thursday kind of just be praying, feeling it out, and trying to figure out, well, for one thing, trying to figure out like whoever is speaking the next Wednesday, because that has like a huge impact basically on what songs you're doing. Like if you have somebody that's speaking that is normally very like and they're like high energy and they like to have a high energy, you're not going to want to end the set on something slow like Nothing Else, or was it like, I guess, Most Beautiful or something like that, like where everybody's like on the floor crying and stuff like that, because now you've just made them have to work that much harder because they're trying to like,
I'm mad, y'all. Everybody on the floor crying.
Everybody
like,
clap their hands and everybody's like,
I don't want to clap.
I want to cry. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna end on doing it all again, okay? Like,
right. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's something that I like, that I had to learn to take into account, because I'm the type, I like ending it on the crying song.
Yeah.
Because some people are crying song oriented, and other people are like, let's jump around and take a lap around the church 30 times. It's just everybody has a different personality. I'm the other one, so I had to learn to basically, it's okay to not do that sometimes.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's see, figuring out who's speaking and then what they're speaking on, because it genuinely like makes no sense to build a whole set on one thing and then them be talking about something completely different, because now it's just kind of, I don't know, like it can work, but it's just, it makes things a little wonky, like flow wise for the entire service, because it's not just about the flow of the songs, it's about the flow of the entire service.
That's good. That's really good point.
And so like honestly, having a good relationship with people who are speaking helps a ton, because it kind of at least gives you an idea of just like, okay, we need to be going this direction, using the music to kind of direct things this way. Are we supposed to be building faith? Are we trying to get people in that open to God mindset, that sort of thing. Right. And I'm trying to think what else I had to learn. And a lot of, honestly, almost 100% of this basically I had to learn by like experience, because I messed up a lot. Knowing your audience. I think we actually talked about this a couple of times. Knowing your audience. You are not going to go into a youth service and have them singing How Great Thou Art. You will kill that service probably. Like, no lie, you will probably kill that service.
Unless it's like a moment thing where it happens in the moment. Like
that spontaneous, how great that, what the?
even then in the spontaneous moment, you still be like, wait.
I have literally watched that happen, where it's just like the old song comes out, and literally you can look, now the older people are just like, finally for me, it's for me. And then the younger people are just like, what song is this?
What is this song? Pointing at the screen. What's the words?
Why'd the beat change? So it's like knowing your audience, and then like, it's because quite frankly, it makes a huge difference. Does. You have no, like, it is crazy how much that matters. Because I mean, like, it's not that, oh, this is a bad song just because like people don't respond to it. It's just sometimes people don't know how to take it whenever you do certain songs. And then it's just kind of like, well, we're just gonna have to get through this one now. We just started it. Like,
yeah, we can't stop, but
gotta see it through to the end now. We're gonna start at the track.
No, I have a question because I've seen this in worship leader like groups on Facebook and stuff. There seems to be, I wouldn't say two separate schools of thought, but on song selection there seems to be a segment of people that lean very heavily on, and I'm not saying either way is right or wrong, I'm just explaining. There's a segment of people who lean very heavily toward hearing from God for the set. And then there's people that just get suggestions and they just make it work. I guess where I fall on this is I try to fall in the middle. I feel like if you are living, if you're prayerful, you're praying, you talk to God, you communicate. I feel like the right songs, you don't have to pray and not move until God says doing it all again, and then you write that down. I feel the way it works is if you're prayerful, then those songs that in everyday life, they'll just come across. While you're on your Spotify playlist, you'll hear something.
And it'll just stick out.
And it'll stick, right. It'll stick out and you'll be like, oof, this, and it'll stick out for you, or you may be like, this would be really good for our church, for this conference, for this rally, or whatever. So I guess that's kind of where I stand on it. Like when selecting songs, I do not say, okay, God, I'm gonna shut up in this room and I'm not gonna pick songs until you speak. Like I don't lean that way, and I also don't like spin the wheel and it's like
throwing darts at it.
That's funny. Got all the songs up, throwing darts. Well, how great thou art is. It's children's church. Well, my hands are
they gonna learn this song today.
Learning this today. So I guess that's kind of where I stand. And I don't think any person that's living for God and that, I don't think there's a wrong way to think about it, because I think God's gonna bless it, no matter how it goes, because your life is blessed and your ministry's blessed. But we need to be mindful, like you said, of the whole audience, who's your audience thing. But how do you? What are your thoughts on that?
I lean towards. I like basically, unless it's like you said, where it's just like there's something that like just sticks out. That's just like, oh, we should probably really do this song, if not this week, at some point, because this is needed for this particular group of people. Yeah. Like if I don't already have that moment, then normally like I just kind of try to pray and just kind of figure out like, okay, God, like what do you even want to listen to this week, honestly, because I'm just like genuinely I had to learn to get to the point where it's just like I don't really know what song to pick, because it's just like I know what songs Josh wants to hear. Like I know where I'm at, where it's just like I want to hear this song, but Josh sometimes listens to some weird stuff that everybody else is just like, what he got on? Like, who picked this? And so, like, I know there are some songs that, like, I like listening to. And, I mean, like, yeah, they're Christian and stuff like that. It's just, I know they will probably never be done in church just because it is not a song that fits for my church or for my youth group, you know? And so it's like, normally I just kind of pray and it's just like, okay, God, like, what do you want to hear? Sometimes I get one song. Sometimes I get all three songs. Sometimes it's just two songs and God is just like, just pick a fast song or something like that, you know? Yeah. And then, I don't know. It normally works out. I mean, yeah, I may have to change like a key or two, or all of them. But like, it normally works out. I will say I've learned a lot just from other, basically my leadership, who's like previously Cam Cook, now Cam Cook and Logan, but now it's Logan and Abby Monk. There we go. Okay, sorry. That was confusing. But basically, I've learned from them some things that make me less sporadic, basically, because I used to be really sporadic. Sorry to literally everybody I've done that to. But, you know who you are. I'm so sorry. But yeah, they've taught me, and I don't even think they realize that they've taught me, but like they've taught me things that made me basically put together a set that actually makes sense musically now.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's like I lean more towards like singer side, so it's just like, oh yeah, this will sound really good, but then like you put it together and like musicians are just like, this is a hot mess. Why'd you ask me to do this? Who do you think I am? Like, musicians are like, really? Why? Where do you even find this song?
And that's another good thing. Like I didn't even think of, but like musicians, that's huge. Like you have different levels of people with different levels of musicianship, and that can, free you up or tie your hands to what you can and cannot do.
Because it's like, if you have a song where like the singing is really simple, just because the singing is really simple doesn't mean that the song itself is simple. Because there are some songs like the piano is like he's playing with all his fingers and then like 7 of his toes because he's that good, and other piano players are just like, I'm not doing that. I'm just not. Like,
nope, you're getting 3 chords.
Basically.
Through those chords. So yeah, okay, so after you've consulted the speaker and you've prayed and you have a set list, do you usually, like with practices, did you do like one practice? Because I know some people do like one monthly practice and they knock everything out, and then they have like a practice before the service. Some people do weekly practices. Some people do just different things. How did y'all do it?
For us, what really worked out, and this one I learned a lot by trial and error, and it was mostly error at the beginning when I first started like learning how to do this, was I had to start doing 2 practices a week.
Okay.
Because I used to do, we can just practice, the Wednesday before.
Yeah.
Was
you mean like before that
before the service.
Before the service?
That was the practice. Like, and it's not that it was a mess, but it was kind of like that class project that got put the night before, but it was like a 50-page paper. You could have gotten A, but you could have probably did a little bit more.
And one thing that I found, because I've done that a lot, I am the king of that. And one thing I find myself with that, I always overestimated the cohesiveness of everything, because you could think it could be a song with 4 chords
literally
throughout the whole song.
A 2-minute
the chords
song
never change.
It could be a 2-minute song.
Basic 3-part harmony, and you get everybody together and you think, oh, this will run through this with a breeze, and things, people have questions.
30 minutes later,
things go wrong, and you've only practiced one song, and it's time to, So that's one thing you pray, yeah, and that's one thing I found that I've done often, was overestimate like how cohesive everything will be, because people aren't machines. Like they have lives and do other things, and even if it is just 4 chords, you have to get however many different people together on those 4 chords, working in harmony, and people singing those different parts, and it's just
making sure the parts are like right, because some people think the part is right, but then it's not right, and then it's just like the whole time like you're hearing it and you're just like, it's just not adding up. Like, and then like I don't like, I had to learn that like that first practice, and since we have service on Wednesday, we normally have a practice on Tuesday, and even more like definitely more so now because like it's basically like a requirement. Like you need to have a Tuesday practice unless it's like something's going on that week or something like that. But like you're having a Tuesday practice because it's necessary.
Yeah,
because it's just like you like Terry said, like you genuinely have no idea what is going to go wrong, right. Honestly. And I don't mean to sound like pessimistic, but it's like you would rather have too much time to practice than not enough time to practice.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially if you're doing a new song.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like there are some songs that is just like, it shouldn't be so hard to learn, but it is hard to teach.
Difficult.
For some reason. Yeah. It just is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so whenever y'all get to practice, I'm sure y'all pray and everything. Not that I want to rush over pray, but I'm sure that's something that's something y'all would do. I mean, I would assume everybody prays during practice. So
now I will say something that I had to learn to be consistent on is that just because it is crazy how much better a practice goes if you just pray before.
Yeah, and
sometimes after.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like a prayer meeting. It can be. Yeah. It can be a prayer meeting, but
shake loose.
It doesn't. It's just, like you said, you'll be surprised. Just you ask God to do something and He does it.
Literally, right. Like, and I just noticed like the times when I don't do it, those are the times when I am most frantic. Things just I can be on like internally, like my headspace isn't great. Mm-hmm. It isn't where it should be, and then like things just I don't know, like it just feels off.
Yeah.
When we don't at any point throughout the practice, and so it's just like I've had to learn to do it consistently. And I'm not saying like I do it perfectly every single time, because sometimes I just forget because like my mind is just like, okay, we're here, we got to start doing this, and then like somebody would be like, hey, we didn't pray, and it's just like, thank you.
Okay. When you're the person in charge of getting like logistics, sometimes you can be narrowed, focused in on those logistics, and you can forget. Like you
literally,
you're like, okay, I'm trying not to make it all fall apart and not look foolish up here in front of everybody. So
because it's just like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like if you're the worship leader for that week, like even if you're not over the entire music department, if you're just up there leading, if something goes wrong, like, I mean, obviously, even if everybody's not looking to you, you still feel kind of like that pressure
the weight of it.
Of just like, it still kind of falls on me anyway. And I mean, whether or not that's right, that maybe, I don't know.
I think it's human. Like, if somebody didn't feel that pressure, I'd be like, is this a robot?
I mean, because like I mean, you want it to be good. You want to bring your best to it, because it's just like you want to bring your best. You want to bring your best to your church, to your leadership, to God. Like you don't want to just here you go.
Yeah.
So
So okay. So now we got the songs. We've come to practice and we prayed, and now it's time to learn the songs. Do you usually have words there for people, or do they bring their own and just do it on their tablet, or phones, or
whenever I first started doing it, basically it was just like just find it on your phone. Mm-hmm. Abby and Logan, Grace, like super. Well, actually no, I think Cam would do it. Like if he was able to, like he would do it too. But like Abby and Logan have like graciously, basically like literally printed out all of the sheets of paper, and it's like it's a lot of paper for these songs, y'all.
Yeah.
Like they'll just have them there. They'll have them on the music stands, already set up, ready to go. Most of the time, honestly, I think every time, I can't remember a time it wasn't, but like the songs will even be in order. They'll be situated a certain way, so you can just whoop and then move on to the next. Like
that's good. That's good leadership.
And so it's like, just honestly, it's crazy, but it's like having the words there just helps, especially because like in the practice, most of the time, if it's that first practice before service, not everybody gonna know all of them.
Right.
Right. It's a lot of words to remember, and you probably ain't even listened to the song before you got there. I mean,
literally.
I mean, yes. I'm guilty, but like,
I'm guilty.
Song starts playing. What is it?
You're leading the song. What?
Y'all,
for real?
Y'all know how many times? Oh my
I
gosh.
just heard. This is my first time hearing this song right now.
Literally right now. What song is? Who is it by? Hold on. Like, literally.
Yeah. So now it's time to for I guess like to teach the parts.
Mm-hmm.
So do you well, I would assume that you just find the lead and go from there. Is that what you?
Yes. Now, okay, so this is another one of those like branch off things because people's minds work differently.
Yeah.
Now, for me, the way I do it is I start with the lead and I'll have somebody basically sing. I'll get somebody to do a key because I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I can do a cappella and just hit it, and then other times I'm just like, don't know where it's at. So I'll normally have somebody like, normally the keys player. Most of 90% of the time it'll be the keys player, and just be like, hey, can you give me the key? And then start with the lead, have somebody sing the lead, and then I just kind of go up from there or go down from there, or whatever, just kind of build from there.
From the lead.
Yeah. Now, does it work 100% of the time? No. Sometimes I get it off, but what I don't just like, okay, these are the parts and just like go with it, because it's okay if you're teaching parts and it's just like, oh wait, I think that's wrong. It's okay to tweak it.
Yeah,
everybody's using
and I think it differs also for like if somebody is like the full-time person, and for somebody that you have a job and stuff, and like you don't have time to sit down and pick out every part and and get all three of them and notate them and all that. It's easier to find the lead and the way this like just quick little, I guess, music thing for everybody.
Yes.
The way it usually works is you have the lead. You'll have the tenor on lead, or the soprano or the alto on lead. And from the lead, it's usually a third. So you have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So do is the first do. That's the key you're in. That's the lead. And then you'll have a third up from that. Do, re, mi. So you have somebody singing the mi.
Mm-hmm.
Fa, so, and somebody singing the so. Mm-hmm. So you're pretty much singing in a chord.
Typically.
For most, it's not. You get into like gospel music and stuff like that.
If it's gospel,
it gets
pray.
Crazy. It gets
pray.
Crazy. But
it could be anything.
for most modern worship, you're singing the one, which is the lead, the three, which is the third, the middle note, and the five, and you're singing. It's moving along in a 1-3-5 progression of chords, and different. The tenor may be on the 3 or the 5 or the 1, and then you have somebody singing above it and below it, or it may be stacked above and then above that, different inversions. But that's pretty much what it is, and you just find that lead, and you find a third off of it and a third off of that, and you got your parts. And now some, like you're saying, some people they do every single word, like the 1-3-5 of every,
and like some people like they can like genuinely do.
Yeah.
I can't, so that's why I don't do that method. So
honestly, it's you do it. You just don't do it here at the key, because you're doing. If you're finding the parts, you're finding the three.
Because I've seen
parts,
like I've literally like watched people be able, like, while they're playing, and then someone will be like, "What's my part?" And they'll play it, and they'll be like, "Ding, ding, 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 ding." It's right here.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's like some people they pick out all three melodies, not medleys, melodies, and for all three parts, and they play them together, and they can pick them out and stuff like that, and that's good, and that's helpful, and that's a really good way to do it. But there's also ways like you do. That's typically what I do. I just find the lead, because for most modern, unless you're making up parts, if it's a song by itself that doesn't have parts and you're making up parts, then it may be a little different. But for most modern worship, it's just you're just singing a third above the melody, and either a third below or above the other one. So,
and I mean, even with that though, sometimes I have been in situations where like I did it and it didn't work, and in the moment, it was just kind of like, it felt like, you know, the world was coming down. And it's
Yeah.
just like, I've just destroyed everything. But it's okay.
Yeah.
You will live. They'll live.
Yeah.
Everybody will get past this. It's okay.
Exactly. And it's in those times where you look back and you was like, you think it's the worst thing in the moment, but when you look back, it's like that was a very little effect, and people forgot about it before the practice was over.
Literally.
You know, so
and honestly, like, one major thing that always helps correct it is honestly just double checking.
Yeah.
And basically you build the parts, and then even if you just have to like break it down like this, have everybody sing together, maybe a cappella or just like with keys or with the acoustic or something like that, trying it out, and then having the full band come in, because it's not just, oh, well, this sounds good with the voices, so that must be the parts. Like, you got to also make sure that it fits with what the musicians are doing, because sometimes it sounds good whenever it's just the vocalists, but then like the full band comes in and everybody was just like, where did that note come from?
And it may be like a G over B or something like that, and this note that's sticking out that they're playing, and you're singing something that's
and
not.
The whole time you're just like,
this
is bothering me. Like, and then you got to tweak the note. So.
Then you got to switch. And one thing I kind of wanted to bring up is that's really important is like timing and having everybody saying the words at the same time and so cutting them off at the same time.
Because you will sound sloppy.
Yes, indeed.
Sloppy.
And so that's one of the things, you know, that I mean it doesn't. You don't have to have a musical ear to be able to, you know, make sure everybody is in cadence. Like, get everybody on the same page.
You have a general idea. And the thing is, it's just like, if your church is doing a song, you also know basically what timing works for your church too.
Right.
And I get like this. I feel like I'm phrasing it weird, but like, you know what rhythms are going to work, and as far as just like, or even if it's like you just know your team, or if you have a team and then like the choir, you know, like if we do this rhythm, we got half of the people that are going to be able to do it, and then the other half, they are going to the downbeat no matter what. Do or die, I'm going to the downbeat. Like, and that's it just funny, happens like that.
It's so true. It's so true.
I don't care if I'm messing up the song.
On this downbeat.
It was good enough 50 years ago. I'm doing it
push
now.
Push what? Push this downbeat?
What?
No.
Push
on
what?
On the downbeat.
I'm pushing it to the downbeat. That's what I'm pushing.
I'm taking this note and I'm pushing it to the downbeat.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Like,
that's
y'all
funny.
It is just, oh my gosh. And it's weird because it's like, it seems like a really small thing, but then like when you put everything together and you're singing, like, it's little stuff that can make the song just sound off.
Yeah.
Especially depending on the song. Like, there are some songs you have to be precise.
Yeah.
And I learned that because I used to be, I used to kind of like flub some stuff, but then it is so humbling to be able to hear yourself sometimes because then you realize, wow, I'm bringing down the unit. It's me. It's me.
It's me, oh Lord.
Yeah. Like, and so it's just like being crisp. And like to the people who were on the team, not the leader, but like the people being on the team, and like when that person is just like, we're doing this 50 times because we have to get this right, it's because they know if you don't get it right, like the song could possibly mess up pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
Because like if you hit the note the wrong way, sometimes that throws another note off.
Yeah.
And then it's like this weird domino effect, and all of a sudden you just miss the bridge.
Especially when you're blending. If you're blending with somebody, it could be another section that hits a wrong note, and you think it's you, and you try to adjust, and now the chord's like doubly off.
Destroyed it.
Destroyed. And then it's like falling downhill. Once you start falling, you
just gotta fall.
You just gotta fall.
And everybody just has to sit through it.
You missed the intro to the bridge, and now
y'all.
Now it's just up there like this, and they playing through the bridge.
Literally.
So yeah, so now I guess you say, all right, so practice, and the way you do it is practice before another day, and then another practice right before session. And in the session, you make sure that words are available either by phone or by paper.
Yes.
And teaching parts, if you have to come up with the parts, you if you're watching this and you're a worship leader, then I would think you would be I would think you would know what a lead is and what a part is and finding it can be tricky at first, but the more you do it, finding a harmony, you can pick up on it like that.
Your ear starts getting trained.
Yeah, and that's something that you may need to train on if you're having trouble finding those parts. Is just going to be exposure to finding those parts. So the more you do it, the better you'll get at it.
And honestly, what may help is YouTube is a phenomenal tool.
Yes, it is.
Like just finding a song, testing it out, and then going to find a church cover of that, because churches 9 times out of 10, if they're doing a song, they're doing a 3-part harmony.
Yeah,
just
right.
9 times out of 10. That's what we do.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And so like it kind of helps you like checks and balances kind of thing. I hope that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. That makes
it kind
sense.
of like helps like, okay, this was right here, but I missed it here. And then like even like there's some they like when you're listening to the song, if you listen really closely, you can actually pick up all 3 of the parts on there, so that you can kind of like pick out like what's this, what's that, what's this. Now that way is a little bit harder sometimes, just because like some parts, like the alto part, sometimes can be kind of hard to find. Honestly,
those alto parts are a lot of the time they're tricky.
Just in there, altos. I'm sorry, we don't know where yet. Like, figure it out, I guess. But like I'm honestly, it's trial and error.
Yeah.
I feel like at least that's how it was for me.
Yeah.
Until like it finally just like, honestly, it was God when it just clicked.
Yeah.
Like it just finally just like that, and it was just like, oh,
okay, yeah.
I get it now. Like
I got it. All right, let's go sing some music.
Yeah,
let's go sing some music.
Like literally. And then like just being confident, even if it's confidently messing up.
Yeah, right. Because a lot of times, unless it's like a baby train wreck or something like that, your average person out in the congregation is not. They're not gonna know if there's if you have a person or two in the mix that's flat a half or whatever for 2 words. It moves so fast. By the time those 2 words are over,
most of the people ain't gonna know.
Most people they're not even gonna. They're not
unless
even
they're
know.
like singers or musicians
themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they're just one of those random people. They're not in music. They just have perfect pitch.
Yeah.
And they just know.
Yeah. Perfect pitch. Yeah, I know y'all want to eat right.
Oh my gosh. Y'all. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how to find that video.
I don't know. It's a video on YouTube about a lady. It's funny. It's like her and an organ, and she's singing this song, and she slows it down. She's like, I know y'all want to eat right. Or she started singing and somebody just straight up called her out. Wrong key, baby.
She did. Oh my gosh,
she shut it down.
Bad.
She shut it down. She was like, I have perfect pitch. And then she started back singing in an even more wrong key.
It was worse.
It was worse.
Everybody was just like,
But she could sing like the lady could sing.
She could. It was just,
she was just.
First steps are important.
Yeah.
They are so important.
It was those first couple of steps she was off, and so it threw her off for a while. And like she was a singer, like she could really sing.
Like, she just sing. She could sing. It just wasn't.
So you've got the practice. You've done the parts. You've got everybody in tune, synced up as far as like the rhythms and syncopations and stuff go. And so for the next practice, a short practice before the service, do you just do like a refresher? Is that what?
Yes. And I've had to learn this one by trial and error too, because normally Wednesday practices go unbelievably fast. Time and like if you are in any form of ministry at your church, then you have a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about.
Right.
Just like 30 minutes seems like a really long time, but it's 30 minutes is basically 5 minutes.
Yeah, right. Because
that is a 5 minute
on
deal.
Wednesdays you have people that getting out of school and extracurricular work and all that, and then you know you don't want to be practicing while people the people sitting down the countdown, you still up there practicing. So
and 1, 2, done that too. Literally,
the countdown's on.
Y'all, if y'all only knew, if y'all only knew. That's
funny.
Woo, man, messed up a lot of things.
Yeah. No, I mean that's that. But you're better for it. You're a better leader because of it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I can tell you what doesn't work. But that Wednesday practice, I have found it is genuinely best for that to just be the practice that you do the run through.
Yeah.
If you feel like you need to do a whole lot of work, at least on like one particular song, that practice before the Wednesday, that's where you need to do it. And this is going to sound cringy, but even if it needs to be a 3-hour practice, I'm sorry, call your families, do something. If you got to leave if you have to, but like you got to get it because Wednesday or if this is like a Sunday thing, doing it before service is not the best time, to be honest, because all that's going to do is, even if you get it, it's going to stress you out.
Right.
Because the thing is, like, you might have got it through practice, but now you're thinking in your head, like, okay, am I going to have it for service?
Right.
And what am I going to do if we have a train wreck? Like, how do I plan for that? So it's just, generally, it is best practice. Get it all done on Tuesday. Even though that may make the practice longer, you will be happier for it on the day of the service, so that in the service, you can just do the run through. Everybody can just get in the vein, get in the spirit, get into the flow of everything.
You're saying that like it's harder to get into the spirit if you don't know if you're going to be able to get through the song.
Y'all. Because like you can't, and it sounds so bad, but it is so hard to focus on God when you're so focused on, I have to make sure I don't miss this thing, And so it's just like,
right.
I can't even remember who told me this, but basically like practicing it to the point where it's like, now it's just muscle memory and you can just get out there and just do it without having to think about it. That gives you so much more freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like for us, it's Wednesdays we do the run through, and this is what we do like across like our youth departments. This is like Wednesday is normally just the run through day. We tweak certain things just to make sure everybody has it right, and we just do like some last minute things like, hey, y'all just remember this, that sort of thing. But that's not the hard hitting day. Tuesday's the hard hitting day. Tuesday's the day is just like, well, I'm sorry, you should have did your homework before you came here. Like, like now,
you don't have it by now. You're probably not gonna get it.
Now that being said, we've never had to stay there till like 10 o'clock. If that ever happens, something has gone terribly wrong. I think the longest we've ever stayed is like maybe 2 hours. But even then, I don't even think that's happened. I think that was more just because we just talk.
Yeah.
So like,
okay.
So I mean, normally it's not that bad. It's just you may have to go past an hour. Maybe it's like an hour and a half practice rather than an hour practice.
Yeah.
And then other times it's not even that. Sometimes you can get it done in like 45 minutes.
Yeah. So it just balances out.
Like, so, but yeah, I've just found that doing the hard hitting stuff at least the day before, unless it's like easy stuff that you've done before, like Build My Life, that sort of thing, like stuff that you have done so many times that you probably sing it subconsciously while you're at work or something like that. Yeah, then you could probably literally just show up like 5 minutes before service and do it perfectly. Like,
yeah. So I think that might be about everything. You had anything else? I don't know that I do.
I guess again, just disclaimer. I basically emphasize the stuff that has worked for me. I tried to kind of like branch off and tell about other different ways, but I mean, everybody's different. So, I mean, try stuff out, see what works, see what doesn't work.
Right.
I don't know. Be consistent with what you're doing, because if you change what you're doing every single week, it kind of confuses people. Experience. Yeah. Super big shout out to youth leader people, basically everybody that I've been under youth leader wise. Thank you, because it is genuinely hard to try to teach people, because it's just like, it's not just knowing for yourself, it's knowing for everybody essentially. And honestly, not even just youth music, just like music in general. Shout out to everybody that has ever been over a music department, ever led, even just led a practice, honestly. Shout out to all of y'all. I'm not going to start naming names because then I'm going to leave somebody out. But
it's like you said, it's earlier, like it's not just the, you feel the weight and I mean, if you're leading, then, you know, it's kind of like, if you're leading, it's kind of like it's not on your shoulders, but like it's kind of on your shoulders. Like it's not completely it doesn't completely rest on you, but you know,
if something goes wrong, everybody looks to you.
Yeah, and everybody.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just you looking around other people. I don't know.
You're like, what do we do? What do we do?
Yeah, so yeah, it can be challenging. I've done it a little bit, and I will say, I'm the type of person I can wear a hat if I need to wear it, but like the whole structure and organization and that part of it, that is not a hat I wear very well. Like I do not wear that hat very well. So yeah, and I've man, yeah, I know where you're coming from on that, because I've led in some things and been the person that makes the decisions and stuff, and it's not easy. It's a difficult thing. Yeah, it's a difficult thing.
Especially like if you're not like over the department, and so then like making the decision is still like a fresh thing.
Yeah, right.
Because then like that whole like like you have to muster up the confidence to even say, how about we do this, you know?
Yeah. Right. Like, wasn't you just yesterday? It was just
yeah. So like, I don't know, be patient with your leaders, because it's a lot more going on than you realize.
Yeah, there's a lot more going on, and it's easy to say, I would have done this when you don't know, when you don't see the full.
So there, well, you know what? Next time you do it,
you know, like, with what you see, you would have done this, and it would have been a good decision with things that you see. But there's 5 or 6 things that you don't see, and you possibly don't know that change the course of that decision.
Because also sometimes people pick up. Well, I won't get off into that, because that's a completely different rabbit hole. But yeah, honestly, so, like
it's a difficult thing.
It really is.
Yeah. So, as always, check us out of all of the places you can. You can stream us wherever. We're on Facebook, YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell us your 3 songs. Oh yeah, the ebook. You can check that out. It's a free download. Check it out. It will probably be helpful to some, or
probably.
I would think it would be helpful, you know. But yeah, check it out, and we will see you guys in a couple of weeks. It's been fun. We enjoy it, and we'll be back for another one later. Peace.